Seeing as this week's Battle Pass has Blaster KOs and Bow Legend wins as two of the objectives to clear, I figure it's a good opportunity to play some Diana, talk about this legend, and have some fun, play some games. A couple things I want to mention, I suppose. I mean, you could see I'm tier 85 already from doing last week's missions. I got the top of the tier, the final achievement, I guess, which is that exclusive Hattori skin. Should turn up the music. Oh yes, the jams. And then the second thing is that, wait, I didn't finish that thought. Okay, still on the first thing. Is that, yeah, I'm on level 85, so I don't actually need to do the battle pass at all, but I have monkey brain, so I just want to clear the missions, get some things. But you know what, honestly, even if I don't, it doesn't give me anything for doing it. It still, I guess, incentivizes me to play different legends and to talk about different things, like I'm doing right now with Diana. I would not have played Diana today, not for that mission, so it has some good. It has some good. Alright, there we go, that's the kill. Speaking of good Diana's a good character. I would, I guess, show her off in ranked a little bit, play her in ranked, but it is 2 AM, so I don't think I'm going to be getting any queues anytime soon, especially if I also try and queue on the US East servers, because that would mean it's 5 AM. So I'm just playing experimental right now. Some casual games. This is one of those casual commentaries. I'm just in the mood to make some casual commentaries, talk about some characters, talk about some legends, talk about anything really. Let's be honest here. We already know this video is not going to be about Diana for the next 20 minutes. Like, it's going to turn into talking about cheese balls or something. I guess it's already derailed a little bit, but yeah, Diana is a really good character, and she's kind of always been that way. I died there. I got trapped. I guess I didn't actually get trapped. I could have dodged out, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. Her signatures feel perfect in so many ways, which is amazing on a character with two weapons that can take some time. I think blasters are one of the higher skill ceiling weapons in the game, in that because of their dead zones, because of their hitboxes, they do take some getting used to, that's for sure. You can't just walk out, you do have to space around, and then when someone's rushing you down with a weapon like gauntlets, you kind of have to get out of the way to make sure you don't get hit by any of those side signatures. Then you can get something like that. Oh yeah, two things I forgot to mention. The first thing is that when you lock in Diana, I had never realized this before today, but it sounds like a toilet whoosh. So that's kind of cool. The second thing is that I'm using new microphone settings, so I hope everything doesn't sound bad. If it does, I guess there's some work to be done. Basically what I did is I turned up the keyboard and then down everything else, so. But back to the topic at hand, is Diana's signature kit feels like it fits her weapons perfectly, and bow is another weapon like blasters that I think to perfect, or to get really, really down, it takes a little bit of a learning curve, because of how much space you control, effectively using that and not just dash downlighting every time you approach, which is a very effective approach up until a point when people can deal with it, and then actually getting the ground and air control of bow starts to become more and more important. And Diana's a character where her signatures complement those strengths, I can't say that word, strengths and weaknesses perfectly. We're right there. I noticed that this Azoth dodged up. I have the option for it, and it gets me the kill. That spike on that bow end sig is fantastic. It not only creates a 50-50 scenario out of that side light where you can do a side sig or you can do an end sig if you know your opponent's going to dodge, but you can also fall right into a signature, apparently. But it also sets into an edge guard. Wow, okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I know this is an excuse, but there's a fly in my room right now. I guess not really my room, I don't really have a room, and it is distracting me, so I have an excuse. Oh my god. I'm not gonna try and slap it, because I don't want to mess up my mic, though I guess I have new settings now, so maybe it'll be fine. But yeah, it sets up in those scenarios, and it also knocks them off stage, which is a situation where bow does not have the best on-stage killing options, but its off-stage killing options are fantastic. And so you have a signature as well as this down sig here that sets up into that situation where you can get an earlier kill. So not only does it cover a bunch of dodges, but you also have that utility of setting yourself up for success, really. And what else could you ask for in a signature but something that can set you up for success, you know? So this is an example of this Azoth is just approaching with downlight, and we'll see what do. I can just anticipate the movement, I can just predict it, and punish them for it. That down air, if I held down, it would have gone through the platform. It did not, because I didn't hold down, and things happen. It's okay. It's a bit unfortunate. So let's see right here. Is this Azoth going to approach with a downlight, or are they going to jump up and Sair? Looks like they're going to jump up and Sair. That's alright. Oh, there's the downlight, and it didn't hit me. I didn't necessarily punish it, but I wasn't really positioned to, and that's okay. Because of those two weapons and then how the signatures fit in, I guess I should also talk about the gun signatures, which having that 45-degree blast on the end-sig is big. Having that leap on the ground is very, very helpful on the, I should say the side sig. I don't know why I'm like padding my words. It's like I'm writing an essay. I'm like, as for the side signature, you can utilize it in various different situations. One may even presume more situations than one. Yeah, I don't know why I'm talking like that, but sometimes I get in that mode. But like that leap right there is fantastic, and it covers people jumping in the air as well. So her signatures fit perfectly, and I think that adds to her difficulty. That not only are the weapons things that can take a little time to develop, and I'm not saying like they're the hardest to pick up or anything like that, but I do think developing a very solid bow takes a lot of movement and kind of forces you to be precise in many ways, and I think Blasters is the same. As you play against more and more experienced players, they can start to take advantage of things like your dashing downlights or your just jumping Sairs with the guns. So, see, I'm like padding my words, but then I also can't speak at the same time, which is a very interesting combination, or maybe uninteresting, given that I'm trying to talk here. But yeah, I think because of how the signatures complement her kit, it can add to the difficulty of this legend. I do think she's one of the hardest in the game to master in many ways. This player is just throwing out a lot of signatures, a lot of heavy attacks. Am I really punishing them for it? No, not really. Is that okay? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not really losing much out for it. Oh, that was good catching my jump. Here you can use the gun recovery, the exhausted version, to get horizontal movement. If I just jumped there, I probably would have been worse off, so I used that. Still living. Maybe I can get a nice ceiling combo, or not. I'm just gonna die to that side sig. Things happen, it happens. It's okay. They're kind of just standing there. Are they okay? Are they okay? I don't know what's going on there. Maybe I can show off this down sig. I do think that gun down sig is her weakest of all 6, but a reversal is always going to be good, at least in one situation. There I was just being cheeky. I wanted to get a wall combo. It's kind of what happens when I play this map. I just start fishing for things to knock people into. Like this ceiling right here. Like, should I just Sair and finish this off? Yeah, probably. Do I want to? No, it's way more fun to fish for an air and then do that. It's the same thing. Do I think there are potentially quote-unquote harder characters? Yeah, sure, definitely, absolutely. And it also depends on your skill set, your particular skill set. Maybe you're someone who's very, very comfortable in a space where they're not necessarily right next to you, but you have to find gaps. And because of that, a weapon like Blasters fits you perfectly, because you don't like getting up in their face. And then maybe in that situation, Diana is not the hardest character to master, because adjusting to those dead zone hitboxes fits the style that you play, the things that you're looking for. And in that case, maybe not. But in my opinion, she is, at least for me, one of the harder characters to master. Again, because of that weapon set, because of the skills that you really need, in my opinion, to master her. Where some characters, like, you don't really use their signature. Oh, we just daring? I guess we're just daring. Some characters you don't really use their signatures too much, or you don't use a few of them because maybe they're not too strong. But Diana's the kind of character where you kind of, if you want to use her to her full potential, I really think you need to use, or be able to be comfortable with at least 5 of the 6. Maybe guns down sig is not something that you want to look for a lot, but knowing in what situations you should use your side sig and your down sig and your end sig with bow, for example, I think is very important. Wow, I got my daily login bonus. This is what happens when you play at 2 AM. Really though, and I know I'm kind of contradicting myself with what I just said, that can be applied to any character. Like, knowing when to use the signatures on your particular character is very important, even if they're not necessarily the best. I'll use an example. So I used to main Fate before Petra came out. Now I main Petra because I think she fits me a lot better. But Scythe Downsig, for example, is a move that I would use maybe 1 in like 20 matches, because the amount of risk for throwing it out compared to the reward I would get for landing it. I got you. I don't want you to fall that way. That's a little sad. It's a little sad. We gotta duke it out some more, you know. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sitting in. Okay, never mind. I guess I am sitting in the waiting room. All right. Now I can go back to that train of thought. Yeah, when I played Fate, I would use her Scythe Downsig because it's not the best signature in the game by any means. Maybe like 1 out of 30 times, right? And what that creates, in some sense, is an expectation, right? Like if someone doesn't expect you to throw out that Downsig because no Fate player throws it out because there's a common consensus or common expectation that it's not the best signature, that's a little bit of metagame, right? Metagame, a lot of it is about expectation. Like right there, I expect that Nash to mash jump because a lot of players have mash jump in that situation, and that has netted me success in the past. So if I expect it, it makes it easier to deal with in the future, and that makes it easier for me, right? Because reaction time is something that fluctuates. I've talked about this before, but when people talk about reaction time, a lot of the time they're like, oh, yeah, I have X millisecond reaction time. But that's not really how it works. Reaction time depends on a lot of things. It depends on, yeah, how fast your base reaction time is, if you can, like quote-unquote base reaction time. But it also depends on preparation, expectation, your current mindset, like how many things you have on your mind, how stressed you are, like your mental stack, which I guess ties into mental state. Right there, actually, I thought I would spot dodge the explosion, but the leap hitbox hit me before the explosion came out, so hit me a little earlier than expected, and I didn't dodge fast enough, and that's a little bit of reaction time. I didn't dodge fast enough, because maybe I didn't expect it. There, I actually kind of did expect it. I just mistimed it, and my execution was off. But yeah. But also, like, that knowledge of the Fate Downsig... Oh, wow, that killed. That knowledge is not exclusive to knowing that it's not the best signature, but it's also about knowing when to use it and when not to use it. And that's a big thing that I think people don't necessarily talk about as much, especially because signature spamming is very common among both newer players, less experienced, and in the lower ranks of Brawlhalla, because it makes sense, you know? Use your most effective move, your highest damage move in this situation, because it'll give the biggest reward. As you get higher ranked, you'll realize, or you start to learn that it's also about risk and reward, and throwing out that signature is high risk for moderate reward. When you reward, jeez, I cannot speak today. But a light attack in that situation is low risk for the same reward. So, anyway, that's all to say that knowing when not to use your signature, even if it'll hit, or even if it looks like it'll hit, maybe there's a better option to pick, or maybe there's a safer thing to do. That's also a big part of being comfortable with your character's kit. Being able to curb your immediate impulse and not do the most obvious thing, because again, the most obvious thing is also the most reactable thing, the most predictable thing. And oftentimes, that's not the best thing. I mean, sometimes it is the best thing. Oftentimes it is the best thing. But I'm sure there's also been situations that you've encountered when you feel like you did the most obvious thing, the best thing you could have done there, but that actually wasn't the best thing you could have done there. And a lot of people ask me, like, oh, when do I use this signature, or what is the best playstyle to use, or when is the best time to use X move? And the answer is just when it's the best time. There's not really one set, you know, overarching answer that I can give, because your opponent's always doing something different, and the best option is always going to be the best option in response to what your opponent is doing. There's not a best option for every scenario. Actually, I'll even amend that statement and say that oftentimes there is no best option. The best option is, it's nebulous, right? Like, so maybe you could do on bow a downlight into nair to get some damage, right? That's optimal, quote-unquote optimal damage. Is that the best option? Well, maybe not. Maybe a downlight into Sarah will get you better positioning. Maybe that better positioning will set yourself up for success, and the optimal damage that you got actually leads into you dying because you get you start to jump up to the top of the map, and then they jump up and they kill you. So it depends on a lot. It depends on a lot. And again, like oftentimes the best option, or the quote-unquote best option, isn't just one thing. It doesn't have to be just one thing. And taking a look at your replays and seeing what's effective and what leads you into situations that are not successful, that are not helpful, that can be good in determining what are the typical options that you might want to pick in certain scenarios. But again, it's not all about a singular best option. I think people get caught in that trap a lot, where they think of things as in absolutes, when it's a fighting game. It's nebulous. You're always playing against another person, you know. Sometimes they might spot dodge there, so the best option could be to side sig, or maybe they would dodge up and an end sig would work out. This is a bot now though, so I guess the best option here is to ground pound. Actually, I don't even want to use the term best option, because I feel like that kind of perpetuates the it makes it harder to portray that it's not like an absolute thing. I'll just say the option, an option, because that's what it is. It's all about an option, you know. Oh, I need to do this for my battle pass. Nice. Okay. That cape, by the way, you can earn it by watching Low Tier City this weekend. Literally just by watching the tournament on Twitch, you get a free color swap for every single character in the game, community colors. You get a sidekick, you get Drake, a little dragon, to bring you onto the map. And I did not know where they were. If I'm being honest, I did not know where they were. And then you also get that cape taunt at, I believe, 20 hours of watching, so it compounds over tournaments. It doesn't take all that time. I guess I didn't technically get it from watching the tournament, but it's like for content creators to show off and say, hey, watch this tournament. It's probably pretty cool, and it is pretty cool. I did watch a bunch of it, so I think it's worth checking out. I was gonna have that be the last match, but you know, ending on that note isn't the most satisfying or the best. So we're gonna do a last game here on Crystal Temple with a live commentary. I don't know why I took so many pauses in between all of those words there. I wanted to catch the fly that was in the room, pretty much, is what it is. So I hope that didn't sound weird in the mic, but it probably did. Ooh, double dare. Nice, nice. Alright. I'm gonna grab. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do a live commentary. I clearly cannot commentate today, I guess ever. So I'm gonna grab the blasters here, control some space, get some zoning, stop them from getting this weapon, at least for a little while, a little bit. Alright, gonna hop above them, catch the dodge. Oh, I did not mean to land with a dare there. That was not so good. With blasters, you can clear a lot of that distance really quickly, and that's what I'm talking about, is you do have a dead zone with that side light, but able to use it, if you're able to use it effectively, excuse me, you can punish things that a lot of other weapons cannot. Like Katars, for example, getting that punish on that downlight would be more difficult. You just can't do a dash side light to do it. Alright, that was not the right option there. That was the right option, but the wrong timing, so it is what it is. Let's see if I can get a GC down sig or something like that to close this one off. I think that'll be interesting. Although they do have another stock, so I should be a bit careful, not get ahead of myself here. I'm kind of just spamming sigs right now. Alright, that's a kill. Okay. I'm gonna use the bow. Actually, no, I'm gonna use the blasters. I do want to get that GC down sig if I can. Get some walling action. Alright, they have not touched the ground, so their jumps did not reset there. Seems like they're kind of fishing for a kill, hopping around. I'm just walling out with hitboxes right now, forcing them into the corner, which is, you know, being in the center of the stage is a pretty good place to be generally. So, alright. There we go. Ended as planned. There we go. That's the Diana video, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm gonna call it. Maybe the hardest legend in Brawlhalla, because that's fun. Alright, I'll see you in the next one.